This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
It is the After Party live on a Hide in Your Cave Monday, and thank you for being here. Here's the music. Yes. Hello to you. I see Maud says hi. You, Maud. Hope you enjoyed Michael Schur filling in on the Mark Thompson Show. Tomorrow, Mo Kelly will be sitting in the captain's seat. David K. Johnston will be on the show. We might have Jefferson Graham, but I have to check on that. I'm not sure if he's traveling or not, but it's going to be good. I love you. Thank you for being here, Jen Morgan. And I like your little wink. Thank you for that. Party is starting. Finally. Yes, it is. I never know whether it's okay to start it early or whether I should just hold and start at the normal time. I don't know. I also hope, and I will tell you that when we have someone filling in, I don't know why it is this way, but there's just more to do. And so I'm hoping that that I have enough for this show. So if I come up short at the end, please forgive me. Eileen wants to know if Mark is on vacation. Mark is with his sister, and they are gathering together, and I believe they are taking a trip together. But yes, that is where Mark is. So he will be back, I believe, on Monday, although Michael Schur thought he was coming back earlier than that. But I think that that he'll be back on Monday. So we get Mo Kelly for the rest of the week. I think that's what's happening. Don't hold me to it. Hello to Nullifidian, and hello to Susan. Hello, everybody. Let's get this party started. It is Hide in Your Cave Monday. I found, and I know, don't laugh at me. I found a love cave. The euphemism is there, but this is a real cave. Not, let's raise our minds out of the gutter. Just because mine went there doesn't mean yours needs to go there either, right? Thank you. Thanks for asking. Okay, so let's go and jump into this story about this bear that decided to get involved in a holiday parade. There he is. Everybody just kind of still sitting in their chairs on the side of the street. If you're seeing a bear walk past you down the street, are you up and moving in the other direction? Because I kind of might be, but this bear decided to join this Christmas parade. This happened in Tennessee. It's a black bear just kind of wandering down the road, walking along the parade route. It's Gatlinburg's 50th annual Fantasy of Lights Christmas parade. They don't know how much of the route the bear actually walked, but witnesses captured a video of this bear that might have been the same animal feasting on trash after the parade. People in the audience said the spectators said the bear was such a hit that the organizers should have made him Grand Marshal of the parade. I think we're lucky that nobody was hurt there. And I think there's a video. There is video of this, so I will show you that. I have to take I had video already ready to go of the cave, but now I feel like I need to show you the video of the bear. So let me take this picture down and do some crafty magic. And here is our bear video.
Told you about the bear on the roof. We've told you about the bear with the chainsaw, but tonight we've got a look at a bear who was just trying to get into the holiday spirit. This is a look at last night's parade in Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg celebrated a golden milestone last night as they marked the 50th annual holiday parade through downtown. This year, country music artist Hunter Hayes led the parade, but it looked like that bear might have wanted to be the Grand Marshal. Okay, if I saw a bear like that, I don't think I would stand there. I would probably run, which is not what you're supposed to do.
No, but you could not do anything or back off. Don't go toward it. Why aren't they hibernating yet?
You know what? I Googled it this weekend. My dad's in town because bears in Tennessee do not hibernate.
They don't?
No.
Oh,
we'll
wow.
have more fun facts at 11. Have a good evening.
Oh, that's always fun. The banter is always fun, right? Let's move on to this Egyptian pleasure boat that was found very close to the shore, of course, in the Mediterranean off the Alexandria coast. It's a first-century luxury vessel, and it matches the description by a Greek historian Strabo, who visited the city around 29 to 25 BC. This is quite the find. This ancient Egyptian pleasure boat uh, is exciting archaeologists. One of the seven wonders of the ancient world, Alexandria, was said to be one of the most magnificent cities in antiquity. And this pleasure boat dates from the first half of the first century AD. The archaeologists are saying it was 35 meters long and constructed to hold a central pavilion with a very luxuriously decorated cabin. This boat was found off the submerged island of Antirrhodos, part of ancient Alexandria's Portus Magnus, or Great Port. So the historian Strabo visited this Egyptian city and wrote about these kinds of boats. He said this: these vessels are luxuriously fitted out and used by the royal court for excursions, and the crowd of revelers who go down from Alexandria by the canal to the public festivals for every day and every night is crowded with people on the boats who play the flute and dance without restraint and with extreme licentiousness. The European Institute for Underwater Archaeology carried out these excavations, and there was a professor of maritime archaeology from Oxford who was leading the charge. His name is Frank Gaudio. He's told The Guardian, it's extremely exciting because this is the first time ever that such a boat has been discovered in Egypt. These boats were mentioned by different ancient authors like Strabo, and they were also represented in some iconography, like the Palestina mosaic, where you see such a boat of much smaller size with noblemen hunting hippopotamuses. An actual boat like this, though, has never been discovered before. So the mosaic in question shows about a boat that looks to be maybe 15 meters, but this one is a lot bigger than that. And the timbers, as you can see in the picture, are pretty well preserved. They span a breadth of about 7 meters, may have required, they think, 20 rowers to get this thing moving. And all of this time, it had been lying only 7 meters under the water, 1.5 meters under the sediment. The initial assumption is that maybe there were two ships on top of another because the construction style was strange. It looks like the bow of the boat is flat, the stern is round, so they can navigate in very shallow water. This is, they say, one of the most ambitious projects that they've conducted off the coast of Egypt. They have found a wreck in the waters around Thonis Heraklion, which the unusual details match the description of another ancient Greek historian. But this latest one lies less than 50 meters from the site of the Temple of Isis, which they've also been excavating. So they think the boat might have sunk during the destruction of this temple around AD 50. There were a series of earthquakes and tidal waves, and that led the Portus Magnus, the Great Port, and other parts of the ancient coastline to sink beneath the sea. It engulfed palaces and other buildings. So the theory is this boat could have been a sacred barge attached to the temple, maybe part of a naval ceremony. They don't know exactly. They say that graffiti in Greek was found on central Carling and is yet to be deciphered. So they're still working on all of this. They have published recently some of the work on their excavations in the journal Maritime Archaeology. It's Archaeology is the name of the publication. So very interesting what they're pulling up there. This underwater robot has managed to survive a voyage to a never accessed region of our planet. We have humanity, as far as we know, has never been here before. It's the underneath part of the East Antarctic's vast ice shelves. And there's this underwater survey robot now giving us the first ever readings collected from this area. They didn't know exactly if this thing was coming back. It's a bright yellow float. It dove underneath the ice, and the oceanographer with Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, said they felt lucky they got it back because they weren't sure. It's called the Argo Survey Project. Argo, ARGO. It's this autonomous device that spent more than 2.5 years drifting through about 186 miles of frigid ocean currents. The whole time it's been doing this, the device has amassed almost 200 reports containing data on water temperature, pressure, salinity, oxygen, pH, nitrate levels. At one point, this float journeyed underneath the Denman and Shackleton ice shelves, and it spent 8 months collecting readings from this never-accessed region of our planet. The scientists say these unprecedented observations provide new insights into the vulnerability of our ice shelves. They have detailed all of the findings in the journal Science Advances, and they say what they have learned reinforces and updates our current understanding of icy shelf health. We know the Shackleton ice shelf is the furthest north in the East Antarctic. It remains unexposed to warmer waters that might melt it from below. But the Denman Glacier is in a little bit more of a dangerous spot. Its disappearance would contribute to a nearly 5-foot rise in global sea levels. And the scientists say, unfortunately, Denman is now exposed to some warmer waters, and that could accelerate the melt rates and facilitate a more unstable ice retreat. The melting, they say, is largely dependent on the ocean state within a nearly 33-foot thick boundary layer that exists directly underneath the ice shelf itself. So these Argo floats are designed to measure elements inside this boundary layer, but until now, none has spent such an extensive amount of time near one. According to Popular Science, against the enormity of such a wild region, this is an amazing story of the little float that could. Under incredibly testing conditions, a relatively tiny instrument has delivered us a wealth of invaluable information. So the scientists are hoping the Argo float won't be the last to visit these and other ice shelves, that these types of robots can give us really important data that helps us improve climate computer models and lets us know a little bit more about what we're dealing with when it comes to sea level rise. So they're thinking that deploying more of these floats along the Antarctic continental shelf would actually transform our understanding of what's coming as far as changes in the ocean and to these ice shelves as well. All from a tiny little robot. I mean, and it's really little. It's crazy. This is a silly story. There is another world record. And this one has to do with Hungry Hippos. You may have seen the game before. You may have even played it as a child. Hungry Hippos. It's funny, I can even remember the commercial for Hungry Hippos when I was a kid. I think I had this game. Well, it's pretty fun. And this is the latest wacky world record. This kind of a world record I think I could get behind, though. A Hungry Hippos world record. I mean, why not, right? This father and son setting the world record for playing the Hungry Hippos game. It's a serial Guinness World Record breaker, so someone who kind of tries to break as many records as possible. This guy, David Rush, we've heard of him before. He teamed up with his young son, to earn the title for the fastest time to clear the Hungry Hippos by a team of 2. So David and his son, Peter, who approached his dad a few months ago to see about breaking this record as a father-son duo, they sifted through ideas. They were looking at the categories. They were looking for something that they could achieve that was doable, but also something that was fun that they could enjoy together. And eventually they settled on this, the Guinness World Records title for the fastest time to clear the Hungry Hippos, game of 2. They started practicing to beat the previous record of clearing the board, which was 8.91 seconds. That's pretty fast. And then they figured out, oh, we could beat that. We could do it. So they got it in 5.8 seconds. They did a lot of tries, but they finally caught it on video. They cleared the board, claimed the title, and created a memory, they say, that will outlast any record in 5.8 seconds. So that's pretty good. I don't know if you saw this story about Elon Musk, but he's getting a big old fine, 120 million euros. The European Union fining X for breaking social media rules, the policy of allowing anyone to buy a verified blue check mark, which is supposed to mean you're legit, right? That they have vetted you. Well, I don't know how legit it is if they just offer them for sale. The European Commission started investigating X under their Digital Services Act 2 years ago, and now they have issued their first non-compliance decision against X. There's some worry that this could anger American officials, but one of X breaches highlighted by the EU concerns the deceptive design practice of the blue check marks, which expose users to scam and manipulation. They say before Mr. Musk acquired the site for $44 billion in 2022, the check marks indicated the accounts of notable users with verified identities. But under Musk, the badge can be purchased by anyone willing to pay $8 a month. That's all it takes. I mean, a worthy price for anyone trying to scam someone, right? EU Commission saying it's therefore difficult for users to judge the authenticity of accounts and the content that they are engaging with. They say X also fell short of transparency requirements for its database of advertisements. In the EU, the platforms are required to provide a database of all the digital ads they have carried, with details like who paid for them and the intended audience. But X created access barriers to its database, which lacked, they say, critical information and imposed excessive delays in processing, undermining the purpose of ad repositories. They don't want you to know who's paying for those ads. They don't think it's your business to know, right? They said X failed to meet the EU standards and obligations to provide researchers with the public data. And so, big fat fine. The EU holding X responsible for undermining users' rights and evading accountability, and with that, a 120 million euro fine for breaking social media rules to X. Almost you could pay for that with your big jackpot winnings. The lotto of the day isn't about a winner, but it is about the Powerball. They say it's on a roll for the holidays. No one matched all 6 numbers Saturday, so the jackpot is now worth $875 million. It is the 7th biggest in Powerball history. The odds of hitting it are about 1 in 292 million. But if you do, 875 million, unless you take the cash payout and then you get less, but still good. So, I think, when is the next drawing for that? Let me find out. I think, is it Wednesday? Oh, yeah. Oh, Monday. It's today. The next drawing is today for the Powerball. I was surprised nobody won it because the mega or the Powerball number was 7. It seems like everyone's lucky number is 7, but okay. Yeah. So it's today, in case you're interested in casting your lot for chance. The Fabergé egg we talked about. Remember this guy who swallowed the pendant and they were waiting for it to come out? I have an update on this story, and I promise not to leave this picture up too long because it's kind of ick with the black glove, but it finally came out. Yep, it passed. This stolen Fabergé egg passed to police, they say, quite literally. Green enamel, 183 diamonds, 2 sapphires. Yeah, it popped out. I don't know how you say you didn't steal it when it came out your rear end. This 32-year-old man was arrested at Partridge Jewelers in Auckland, New Zealand, November 28th. He'd been in police custody ever since. The officers were stationed around the clock waiting for the evidence to reemerge, and it has reemerged. Story updated, moving on to a different picture. Did you hear what happened at In-N-Out? This is kind of a silly story. There's an In-N-Out in California that has apparently dropped the number 67 from its order system. The orders are now going from 66 to 68. It's because of this whole nonsensical thing with the numbers 6-7, where kids are, saying 6-7 on social media, and no one really knows exactly what it means. But there's an employee that was seen on tape telling a teenage customer in a video that is all over the internet now. The employee tells the customers it's because of people like you that they are skipping from 66 to 68 and not doing the order number 67. Now, In-N-Out has yet to confirm this is a company-wide decision or whether it's just at this particular In-N-Out, but videos posted to social media show large crowds of teens erupting in cheers when the order number 67 is announced at In-N-Out locations. When they're converging to celebrate, we need to get teens something better to do with their time. I have a sad story about air pollution. The story is, I think I have this story. Where did it go? What am I doing? There's a new story that suggests air pollution could be contributing to clogged arteries. I know, it's weird, huh? Researchers presented data at a meeting of the Radiological Society of North America in Chicago. They say the data they collected shows long-term air pollution exposure, even around federal standard levels, could put someone at an increased risk of heart-related issues caused by clogged arteries. The study involved the monitoring of 11,000 adults, also shows the more air pollution exposure during a lifetime, the greater the risk of arteries clogged. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's all part of our respiratory circulatory system. I guess I would have thought other things, eating things that are polluted, maybe would have had more to do with it than breathing in pollution. But apparently none of it's is good for us. And I think we all probably could have figured that out. So, yeah. And there's not much we can do about it either, except try to move to a place that doesn't have a lot of air pollution. And then, how do you know? Because the minute you think that, then something happens like a wildfire, and all of a sudden you're breathing in polluted air, right? All right, it is time for, I have it, Hide in Your Cave Monday. And I had a great story from Doug, who sent me a Facebook link to these homes that looked like caves. Doug, if you're there, I was going to use the story today, and then I clicked on the link before the show and it was corrupted and broken. So now I can't get to it. Otherwise, I would have used your story. So thank you so much for sending it. But instead, we're going to the Cave of Love. This is in Greece. And here it is. This one comes with video. I love a cave with video. And I'm not quite sure who this guy is, but I'll totally take it. Look at this cave. Isn't that beautiful inside? Love the blue glow of the water of this cave. Zakynthos is where it is. Isn't that gorgeous? The Cave of Love. Apparently, you're supposed to see crystal clear turquoise waters. You could swim in the cave. There are unique rock formations here as well. But I have video of the Cave of Love. And here it is.
Welcome to Zakynthos. This place right here is what made this island famous. It put it on the map. This is one of the top places to visit on the island, and we're situated here in the Ionian Sea. The island is 40 kilometers long, 20 kilometers wide, and we're going to check out some of the best spots on the island. That's a great shot! John and I are going to spend 2 days here in Zakynthos, and then we're going to catch a ferry next door to Kefalonia, where we're going to also spend 2 days.
All right, so she's trying to take us on a tour, but that is not exactly what I was hoping to see. I was actually hoping to see the cave, and I think I played the wrong video for you. I'm so sorry. So here is the right video.
Where is this cave in Greece? First off, it's on
There
the
it
island of Zakynthos, and it's a strange one. I can describe how to get there, but I can't really tell you the name because it just doesn't have one. In fact, just a few months before we visited, it didn't really exist. The front of it kind of slowly eroded away, and when it finally disappeared, it revealed this cave, which honestly also begs a bigger question about its structural integrity. Anyway, so here's how you get there. For starters, you can't walk there. You have to do this by boat, so make a fun day out of it. You're gonna have the boat for a few hours at least. And you can catch the boat from the south of the island, as that's the closest port to this cave. The port is called Agiosostis, not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. From there, just ask them to take you towards Mizithres, which are these huge mountains with a gorgeous beach on the island. And it's one of those places that pretty much everyone knows about, whether you're a visitor or you're a local on the island. Once you find Mizithres, then you carry on sailing north along the coastline, and within about 10 to 20 minutes, you should find this cave. It is worth noting though that the cave opens up at the other end inside, so you can swim through it to another beach. Also, since you already have the boat, you should
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I think that is the most beautiful cave, and I love that you get to, there it is, the Cave of Love in Zakynthos, a hidden gem. It, again, has this stunning blue water. There is the picture of it. And while they do call in question its structural integrity, as far as whether you should go inside, and I'm always leery of ocean caves because, you don't want to get caught in there when the tide comes in. It really is beautiful. I love that you can swim through this cave to a beach on the other side. They say this is an adventure, and they call it a top romantic escape on Zakynthos, only reachable by boat. But the azure waters and the stunning scenery are supposed to create a perfect atmosphere for couples. It is ideal, they say, for relaxation, for exploration, for natural beauties. As far as the island, Zakynthos, it is the third largest island in the Ionian Sea, and it's known for its clear waters and its beautiful landscapes, and so beautiful. They say for people that love snorkeling and exploring rocky shores, the hidden beaches like this are perfect for people looking to relax and explore in nature. They also said that June is the best time to visit. The weather is really warm, which means there are fewer crowds, which is kind of surprising, but they say Zakynthos is a dream come true. And there are places like Kerry Caves, home to marine life, secluded beaches, just waiting to be discovered. There are turtle nests along the shore, so you have to be careful. The areas are protected within the National Marine Park, but so, so pretty. I love it. This is the Cave of Love. Probably never get there in real life, so it's nice to get there here. And that, my friends, is Hide in Your Cave Monday. Thank you for being here. Sorry I showed you the wrong video, but that's kind of fun to explore with those people. I might have to watch that video next. By the way, the video comes from Zakynthos Online. Zakynthos Online, if you wanted to watch it as well. And that ends the After Party Live. Agent Kitty Feet's got to go. So does Mindy. So everyone's out. Never heard of the Ionian Sea. Well, I thought you're a super diver, so there's a new place for you we've uncovered that you can go explore, right? Thanks, everyone, for hanging out with me on the Isle of Zakynthos and Hide in Your Cave Monday. Again, tomorrow, Mo Kelly hosts The Mark Thompson Show. David K. Johnston is on the show. I'll meet you at 11 o'clock right back here on YouTube. Thank you for being here on the After Party Live. Thank you to everyone who contributes to this show. I honestly could not do it without you. And that includes sending stories in, sending contributions in as well. And I do want to take a moment to thank people like Kim N, who has a recurring payment on PayPal set up. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Mary Zane B. Thank you to Wes. Thank you to Deborah S., the most recent contributors. And thank all of you for being here and hanging out on the After Party Live. All right. Until we meet again, make it the best rest of your Monday. and I will see you tomorrow here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.